Okay, another tool that we used during the coaching training was a Google form. And Google Forms are you're probably already familiar with the Google form. I like to joke that Google Forms are the gateway drug to Google Drive because there's so many wonderful things teachers can do with Google Forms, all kinds of quizzes, polls, collecting information from parents, all kinds of different things you can do with it. Collecting science lab results. Super easy way to do all those kind of things. So what we did for this particular thing was just a very, very simple poll. So I'm going to click on the link here so you can see the poll. And so what I wanted to show you on this poll was, so just one question, and there was one thing to answer. And the cool thing that I wanted to show you was that you can now add images to your answer choices, which is a super great way for students to access information in a different way. So just thinking about this, being able to add an image, you could obviously add colors, pictures of different things, diagrams, all kinds of things like that could be used for a multiple choice question. You could add different ways to solve a problem, so many different things that you could do. So it just really opens up a lot of different worlds for how you can use Google Forms. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But I wanted to show you one other thing. So I'm going to quickly answer this poll here and hit submit. And you'll notice when I hit submit, I have an option of seeing the previous responses. So this is another really nice way that you can set up a Google form where you have all your students respond and then have it set up so they can click here. You can do this as a teacher and you don't have to show it for everyone, but this is nice for a conversation. So right here we could have a conversation about the different responses, and everybody can see on their own computer. You don't have to worry about a projector, etc. So that's one thing I wanted to share there. And then okay, and then just a few other things about Google Forms that may have changed since the last time you used them, or maybe you just didn't know that you could do. So here I am in my Google Drive. If I click on New, and usually I have to go down to More just because there's too many different things there, and click Google Forms. So Google Forms changed last year a little bit. It's a little more streamlined now. But there are a couple of options that you may not be aware of. So I wanted to share those with you. So I'm just going to do another quick picture poll. Okay, so one nice thing to note here is if I start typing something like what date, you'll notice when I put what date, it anticipates that I'm going to ask a date. And so it actually comes out with the date answer there, which is kind of cool. But right now I'm going to say which, so it will anticipate your answer. And so when I say which, it thinks it must be a multiple choice question. So you'll notice that over here we get a multiple choice question. So which photo do you like best? Okay. And so then for my questions, I can say option 1 or call it something. And then over here on the right, I can pick a picture. And I have several different options. And the one of the tools that we're going to look at for something else in a minute is take a snapshot. Don't forget that tool when you're working with Chromebooks, because with the take a snapshot, you can take a snapshot of any kind of work you're doing on a piece of paper. So I can do this. You can take a snapshot of manipulatives, all kinds of things that you can do. So it's pretty cool to use that tool. You can also find pictures that are in your Google Drive, upload pictures from your computer, or I could search. So I'm just going to search for, okay, and here's a whale, and I'm going to select that picture and add it in. Okay, so now I have a picture in here, and then I could pick I'll do one more. So I'm going to add one more picture, and this time I'm going to search for a I can spell right, and I can't. Okay, so here's blue whale. My blue whale pictures are not as good. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I have my two options and my multiple choice question. Some other things I wanted you to see about forms. Well, first of all, your different choices that you have. So when you're doing a Google form, you can have short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkbox, drop down, and this is another new one, is file upload. So you can actually use this kind of like a turn-in box where you have, or it could be for lots of different things, but you could actually have people click here, find their file, and go ahead and upload a file that will come into your spreadsheet. So this would be great, I don't know, for any kind of work that they're doing that comes in the form of a file and you want to turn it in. It'd be good for collecting resumes or recipes or different things like that. So a lot of different ways to use that tool. The other thing to notice here is, let's see, let's get, and again, you've got your multiple choice grid, your scale, date, and time. So lots of different ways to answer a question. If you click on this add-on button, this is where you can get some different things, like, for instance, this one is a nice one, the Choice Eliminator. Choice Eliminator, so as, like, if you're signing up for something and you only have so many spaces available, it will take that choice away once somebody has signed up for it. So that's a good one. There's some different tools here. So those are the add-ons. And then there's a color palette. This is to change, you can change what your poll looks like. So that's simple, just to change colors, but you can also, if you wanted to, you could actually change the pictures. So there's a lot of options over here, but you can also upload pictures. So I'm just going to, not really thinking about this a whole lot right now. So there you go. So lots of fun things you can do with that. And then if I click on the preview, it'll give me a preview of what the form looks like. And I'm going to go back here to the edit. There we go. And also, so that's the preview button right here. And then under the, sorry, hit the wrong button here. That's a good button, but the one that wasn't the one I was planning. So the settings, which looks like a gear, you'll see that you can choose some different things. And this is what I wanted to point out here. So it's important that you decide how you want to collect responses. So it's, if you're working with people within the district and you know that they can easily sign into their Google accounts, you can collect email addresses. This only works within if it's a Mount Vernon School District. I usually take off this restricts to Mount Vernon School District users unless there's a real reason, like you want to collect email addresses, to have it on there. That just takes away one more step. And also, a lot of times you're sending the form out maybe to parents or things like that, and not everybody's going to be a member, and then they won't be able to sign it. And then you can also choose, like, edit after submit or see a summary. So what we did on the activity was I had this checked so that after you hit the submit button, you can actually click and see their summary of everybody's responses. Obviously, sometimes that would be a good thing to do, sometimes it wouldn't. So those are good things to know there. And if you click on the presentation here, you can decide, like, if you've got lots of questions, whether to have a progress bar. You can also shuffle the question order. So if you have kids taking a quiz next to each other, they can have their questions in different order. And then also the link to submit another response, yes or no. And you can also change the confirmation message, like thanks for responding, next do this, or whatever they need to do. And here's another new thing this time. A lot of teachers have used a tool called Flubaroo to create quizzes and grade them with Google Forms. So Google Forms now has their own quiz feature. So if I click make this a quiz, I can decide whether I want the grade released after each submission, or if a teacher's going to look at it first. So you can change that, and you can also decide what the person sees. So if I click on there, so now if I go back to this quiz that I just created, and I click on I click here, you'll see that I have the answer key pops up. So I can actually click here on the answer key, and if there was a correct answer, there's not in this particular case, I could choose which answer is the correct answer. Another nice thing that I can do is add feedback. So for each question, I could add feedback. So I could say, oh, so I see you like orcas, or whatever. Or if it's a math question and there's a right and a wrong answer, but the wrong answer, maybe you can say, oh, I see that you answered this. Maybe you need to look at the order of operations or something like that. So it's nice to be able to provide that feedback in that way. So that's just a few other things with Google Forms, and I hope that's helpful to you.